Hello there guys, RMP792 here, and I've got shower hair again. So, today I'm going to talk about musicals. Specifically, before anybody leaves, I'm going to talk about musical episodes of genre shows. And my reason for talking about this is fairly simple. I finally got round to watching the end of Once Upon a Time about a week ago. So I'm now caught up, and I don't know if I'll bother watching season 7 because, Jesus, that show. They had a pretty solid point to end it, and they seem to have decided just to try and keep it going, even though half the cast isn't coming back. Jesus Christ. Anyway, moving on. But for those of you who haven't seen Once Upon a Time, or aren't caught up, I will be talking spoilers, so beware. But it's not really the penultimate episode, but if you think of the last two as basically a two-parter, which I would not be surprised to find out they broadcast this as one long episode somewhere. I don't know if that's true, but it wouldn't surprise me. So effectively, the episode right before the end, they decided to do a musical. And given that this show is basically the Disney AU fanfic, frankly, I'm amazed it took them this long. But I want to basically talk about... I'm going to go with 3 examples here, which are the one that really worked, the one that mostly worked, and the one that failed hard. So, to me, the one that really, really works in the whole, sticking a musical episode in a genre show just because fun, is Once More with Feeling from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's still the best anybody's ever done this idea. And the main reason for that is they lean into it completely. It's a whole bunch of good songs. They're all original. A lot of them are really funny. A lot of them are really good. I mean, let's face it, there's a friend of mine who I've known since school. If we get together, and we're... Sorry, I was causing a weird reflection there. Maybe it looked like I had some sort of giant bulge in the side of my neck, which was making me worried for a second. But now, if we get together and we drink, there is a 50-50 chance we end up putting on the soundtrack to Once More with Feeling and singing along. We have done this so many times that we no longer have to even consciously consider which parts we sing. I know which bits he's going to do, I know which bits I'm going to do, and, it meshes. And it says something that because that episode's what? 10, 15-year-old at this point? Jesus Christ, I think it's 15-year-old at this point. But it's still really, really good and really, really holds up. We even have the same complaint about the soundtrack, namely that in the soundtrack version of Once More with Feeling... That's the name of the goddamn episode. The soundtrack version of Walk Through the Fire... in the episode, right as it ends, Sweet basically has a line which is "Showtime," and we think that should be on the soundtrack because it fits so perfectly. But anyway, it says something that's our biggest complaint about it. Well, that and Dawn's Lament, but who cares about Dawn's Lament? Anyway, but the reason that Once More with Feeling works so very well is that everybody is doing their best. Everybody can sing shockingly well. I mean, the person in the cast who had the least confidence in their voice was Alison Hannigan, which is why if you pay attention, she's got like 2 lines of song. One of them's in Walk Through the Fire, and it's literally, I think this line's mostly filler. Which is basically just, she wasn't especially confident doing it, so they didn't try and push her into it. And that's fine. But everybody else really goes for it. And there are some really, really good songs in there. And it works. And while the episode of Once Upon a Time is nowhere near that good, it does work because they go all out. Insofar as, the basic reasoning behind it in the episode is... Snow has flashback land because this show loves its flashbacks. Snow and Charming know that the Evil Queen's going to do something to bollock everything up. So they basically they make a wish for something to help them defeat evil. And then the next morning they wake up and they're singing. And bits of that song are quite cute insofar as I really love the fact that David comes in and he's like, what the hell is going on? And why do I sound so amazing? Which is great. Because, I've really admit they have pretty decent voices. And it's a really cute song. And then they basically go, right, what's the best part of Disney films? Oh yeah, the villain song. Which means that 3 different villains, even if by that point in the show they're not actually villains, at this point in the timeline they were, all get quite good songs. So Regina gets a song that's basically just about how she's going to defeat everyone and just be awesome and how love is worthless. And she's having, the actress is having an immense amount of fun just kind of vamping it up the whole way. You've got Zelina, and I've got to say, Rebecca Maida's voice is better than I was expecting. Basically has a sort of full-on ha 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 ha. Yes, I shall be the overall ruler at the end of this song, which is fun. Especially because she does the whole thing in the Wicked Witch makeup, which is just right down to the fact that I swear at one point she was strumming air guitar on her broomstick. I don't think it actually did it on purpose, but the way she's holding it, I swear to God, it looks like she's doing air guitar on her broomstick. And then you've got Captain Hook giving this sort of fun, bawdy song about how revenge is awesome, and he's going to go and kill himself a Robert Carlyle. I might have a blank on his name for a second there. Kill himself a Rumpelstiltskin, and that's a fun song. And that's ultimately the point when it comes to musical episodes. They work best when they're fun, and they admit that yes, what we're doing is silly. You want to make a big deal out of it? Let's face it. Once More with Feeling basically ends with a gay joke. Insofar as the reason that Sweet decides, actually, you know what, I'm just going to leave, is it turns out that Xander's the one who summoned him. And he's just not into Xander, so he's not going to kidnap him and make him be his evil queen. So he just kind of leaves. It's funny. I'm sorry, but it is. And this, the songs don't really get serious until right at the end, when you basically, I'll freely admit, the moment when Emma's basically confronting the Dark Fairy and everything's going to hell and all the people she loves are around her, but they're frozen and they can't do anything. And she realizes that she's had this song in her heart the whole time. Is it cheesy? Yes. Is it goofy? Yes. Is it sappy? Oh God, yes. Is it kind of amazing? Yeah. I've got to be honest. There is a beautiful line in Dragon Age Inquisition where somebody's talking to Varric about whether or not he believes in Andraste. And his basic comment is he wants to, because at the end of the day, he loves the idea that the world could be saved with a song. And I really like that line. Yeah, I'm a sucker for the same basic principle. And I've got to admit, I did not know Jennifer Morrison could sing like that. Because she gets properly sort of, high-pitched and full tilt diva there, and it really works. Right down to the fact that Jamie Murray spends the entire scene with a "what the hell is going on" look on her face. Because she's getting defeated by the power of love, friendship, and music. It's amazing. I'm not going to deny that. And then... the whole episode basically ends with a wedding, and then you've got the big group song where everybody's like, yes, isn't this awesome? Isn't this awesome? It's fun. As I said, I freely admit, Once Upon a Time is a deeply, deeply flawed show. It's got a lot of problems. The timelines are complete nonsense. The fact that Rumpelstiltskin's parents turn out to be Peter Pan and the Dark Fairy is a bit mental. The convoluted, savior mythology stuff they added in later, rather than just basically having it be some sort of thing that multiple people have got over the years. Yeah, don't know why they needed that. The King Arthur and Excalibur stuff, that was weird. The entire half of the fourth season, which they donated to introducing characters from Frozen, who never turn up again. Yeah, it's a goofy show, but on occasion, it's fun, and it's very much one of those shows that sketches past on the fact that its characters and its cast in particular are really good and are clearly having fun with what they're doing. As I, there are quite a few episodes when Regina just being irredeemably evil is just really fun to watch because Lana, however you pronounce her surname, is clearly having an awful lot of fun playing the character and just, let's face it, it's fun to play a villain, and the evil queen is a really fun villain. And the fact that she actually manages to have a decent amount of character development over the 6 years that the show's been on, so she's gone from completely irredeemable bastard to morally dubious to trying to be better to actually being a good guy to attempting to sacrifice, to attempting to strip out her evil parts and ending up creating a worse problem, to actually realizing that there is darkness inside of her and she just has to accept it and learn to live with it. It's a legitimately good 6-year character arc. I have no complaints on that front. So yeah, it felt like a culmination of a lot of stuff, and they were just having fun with it. Right down to the song battle between Regina and Snow and Charming in the past. But basically ends where Regina's like, yeah, bollocks to this. Opens up a magic box and captures the power of the song. And you're just like, well, bollocks. So it's a fun episode is the main reason it works. Now I'm going to talk about the one that didn't work so well, which is another fairly recent one, so again, spoiler territory. Let's talk about the Flash Supergirl musical crossover episode. This one didn't work at all. And the thing is that the cast of the episode is pretty good. Because let's face it, John Barrowman is a very good singer. Victor Garber is a ridiculously good singer. The guy who plays Iris' father, Joe, is a shockingly good singer. Even Kara and Barry are both pretty good singers. They're not amazing, but they are pretty solid. I mean, let's face it, they both kind of got their careers started on Glee, which, for the record, I have never seen Glee. I've seen the odd clip and the odd trailer, so I'm not going to judge it. If you want to fill up the comment section with Glee hate, go for it. But I make no comment because I haven't seen enough to have an opinion. Fair enough. But the main reason that the episode does not work is that they don't have faith in the concept. Right down to the fact that there are exactly 2 original songs in it. I mean, to put this into context, Once More with Feeling has, let's see, there's 14 tracks of songs on the disc. 2 of those are Dawn's Ballet and Dawn's Lament, which don't really count. And then there's the couple of sort of short, jokey ones, like the guy with the mustard-stained shirt and the girl who's parked next to a fire hydrant and is trying to get about a ticket. So if you call it around about 10 songs, I think that's about a fair, fair estimation of the number of songs in that episode. So that's 10 completely original songs for Once More with Feeling. The Once Upon a Time musical episode, whose title I can't remember, I could look it up, but I can't be bothered, has 6 or 7, I think, if you include the reprises. And that's that's a pretty solid number. And the Flash musical episode has 2. And to be fair, they're not bad. The first one is Super Friends, and I'll be honest, when I heard that Barry and Kara were going to be in an episode singing a musical song called Super Friends, I was really excited. Because that just, let's be honest, it's another 2 shows that skate by on the fact that their main characters are kind of adorable. I'm sorry. Both Kara and Barry are adorable, and they're really adorable together because they do actually have really great, chemistry. And before anybody comments, no, I'm not suggesting they should in any way hook up. They just work really well together as friends. Which, let's be honest, one of the best scenes in season 1 of Supergirl is still the one where they sort of say to Barry, "So how fast are you?" And he just runs out the room, runs back in, and just hands them some ice cream. And just the look on Kara's face is just, "Yay, ice cream!" And it's so adorable, and it works for that reason. And I'll be honest, Super Friends as a song is fine. I'm not going to bother looking it up to actually listen to it again, but it was fine while it was there. And then the second one is Running Home to You, which, again, that's not a bad concept for a song, and it's not even that badly executed. But it's fine. That's all. And none of the other songs in that episode are actually original. They're all covers. The other reason the episode fails is that they bollock up the Music Meister. Because let's be honest, the original version of the Music Meister was played by Neil Patrick Harris, who has a ridiculously good singing voice, and is, to all intents and purposes, he's a supervillain who wants to take over the world with the power of music. Again, ludicrous. Brilliant. It's really is one of those things that it's an utterly silly idea. And these shows do need to realise sometimes that, you should be silly on occasion. So in his original appearance, which I think was Batman Brave and the Bold, which was a very weird cartoon series, but worked because of that, he basically tries to take over the world with the power of music. And that's really entertaining to watch. I haven't seen the episode all the way through, or I think it's a two-parter, because I think most of Brave and the Bold's stories were two-parters. But, I have seen several of the songs, and they're all having fun. Because, again, it's a very silly concept, and they're just going with it. Whereas this version of the Music Meister is a crap Mr. Mixlick-Piddlick knockoff who decides to trap Barry and Kara in a dream so that they can learn a lesson about love. Seriously. Oh, God. Look, I know you're a goddamn CW show and the romance bollocks is what you think a lot of your audience is there for. And to be fair, there's good romance bollocks in these shows. I mean, the whole subplot of Alex basically falling for... why am I forgetting her name? The female detective. That's actually a really well-handled romance subplot coming out story, and it works really, really well. And I'm glad that they included it. It's a good part of the show. But for the record, I'm not part of the fan base that hates Mon-El. He's just kind of boring. So the fact that he was a fairly major part of season 2 was just kind of eh. He wasn't great. He wasn't awful. I really don't care if he comes back for season 3 or not. But he probably will, I'm assuming. I don't know. But anyway. He was definitely one of the weaker aspects of season 2. And Barry and Iris, breaking up because he's trying to change the only reason he proposed is because he's trying to change the future. And oh God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was contrived. It was really, really contrived. And as I said, taking a supervillain trying to take over the world with music and turning him into a crap Cupid. What a goddamn waste. This episode could have been amazing, and that's the problem. It's just... there's nothing about it I can actively say I hate beyond the fact that I heard they were making a musical episode in The Flash, as a Flash Supergirl crossover, and I was like, yes, more of this please. And then I saw it, and I was just like, this... No, this was a... And disappointment hurts worse than outright crap, frankly. It really is one of those occasions where painfully average actually kind of hurts more, because it feels like it could have been so much more. Because here's how I would have done it. Given the available cast they had, as I said, throwing in John Barrowman and Victor Garber would have required a bit of wibbly wobbly on the part of the writers, because Victor Garber's off with the legends travelling through time, and at that point I think Malcolm Merlyn was getting zipped around the timeline by the Reverse Flash. So it would have required a little bit of work, but here's what you do. Kara has basically come to Barry's Earth for a reason. That reason can be completely trivial. It's not relevant in the slightest. But while she's there, a incredibly powerful supervillain decides it's basically time to take over the world. He gets a good starting villain song as a kind of, I'm plotting, I'm going to be amazing when this happens. That's our introduction to the character. Then you go to opening credits. Then, from there, you've basically got the two of them just talking and being friendly and all that stuff. Then you basically have Malcolm Merlyn turn up, and you realise he's basically got there because he's been given a job by the Reverse Flash. And Firestorm had basically been dropped off to try and figure out what he's up to. So the rest of the legends have basically dropped him off and gone. So that gives you both Victor Garber and I can't remember the actor's name. Sorry, actor. But that basically gives you both halves of Firestorm there. So that lets you have Victor Garber there. That lets you have John Barrowman there. From there, you basically go to the villain's grand reveal of himself, where he basically does some evil deed, live on TV, and they're all, this is getting broadcast all over because it's a villain. These people are basically doing evil stuff because they're being affected by a guy using the power of music. And you can throw in some sort of, I don't know, his sound waves are clearly hypnotic, or he's using some sort of telepathic control that triggers the part of the brain that makes people enjoy music, and that's overriding their common sense and making them do what he says. You can pseudoscience your way through this with like three lines of dialogue, and it's done. And from there, you basically have giant epic villain song, because of course you do. You can't do an episode like this without a giant awesome villain song, because again, villain songs are awesome. And from there, he basically ends up effectively getting in Malcolm Merlyn's way, and he ends up controlling Malcolm Merlyn. At this point, you get the big John Barrowman number, because no point wasting him. Firestorm agrees that the two of them have to stick around in order to help. And the effect of this the villain's psychic field or whatever it is basically spreading over the city, and as a result, people are all starting to sing. This is easy stuff. I mean, and from that point, you've got the opportunity for Barry and Kara to sing a song about how awesome they are as friends. So the Super Friends song, basically. I'd say it was a perfectly fine song. It just belonged in a better episode. That gives Victor Garber a chance to sing a song about, I don't know, maybe bring his daughter back into it. She was an interesting little subplot. So he sings a song about he doesn't know how the hell to be a father because he wasn't one until some bollocks happened with the timeline. And suddenly he has a daughter that didn't exist before. So there's some interesting stuff you could do with a good song there, and eventually you have the grand finale musical fight blowout, where it's Kara and Barry versus the Music Meister and various people he has under his control, and they battle each other through a combination of superpowers and song. And eventually he gets locked up, and all his his equipment is taken from him, but he vows revenge, and maybe he'll be back in the future, and maybe he won't. Job done. They can learn some valuable lessons about friendship, or you want to have the romance stuff in there, fine. Just don't make it the central focus of the goddamn episode. And yeah, that's what I would have done with the episode. So yeah. as I said, that episode was just disappointing because it could have been so much more, and instead it was, it was all a dream, and it was, and the villain wasn't even a villain. He was, trying to teach them a lesson about love because I have no idea. So yeah, musical genre episodes. I really, really like them when they're done well, and when they're not, it's just sad. Because as I say, Once More with Feeling is among my favourite Buffy episodes. I really, really liked that episode of Once Upon a Time, which, again, deeply flawed show, but on occasion it does something that I do really like. And then the Flash Supergirl crossover was just weak. I really want them to revisit this idea in the future and actually do it justice. Even, hell, make that the big crossover for the next season, so you've just got... Actually, I have no idea if any of the cast of Arrow can sing. No idea. They might be able to, they might not. I would be interested to find out. But, you've just got the big Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow crossover event coming up. So last time they fought aliens, this time, give them a proper musical supervillain to fight. That gives you 4 episodes to spread the music out over. I mean, that's like Broadway length. You could have fun. You could go completely mad with what you did, and that would be amazing. They're not going to do that. I don't know what they're doing for this year's crossover. They've managed to keep keep a lid on it so far. But either way, so yeah, I managed to talk for about 27 minutes. Jesus Christ, I've talked for 27 minutes on the topic of musical episodes of genre shows, and there are quite a few others I could have talked about as well. But, yeah. So, yeah, you want to make a good musical episode? Have faith in the concept, lean into it hard, accept that what you're doing is goofy, and enjoy it. That's the rules. That's all you need to do to make a good musical episode. Well, that and have plenty of original songs. But, anyway. Right, I think it's time for me to shut up now. So... Any requests for things you'd like me to talk about in the future, comment section is there. Incidentally, somebody asked me for my opinion on Death Note. My opinion is I haven't watched the original anime. I haven't watched the Netflix film. I've heard very bad things about the next Netflix film. I have no particular interest in watching the anime. That's all I got on it. So, until next time, as I say, comment section is there. Ask if there's anything you'd like to know about. And... yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in future videos.